Halloween, everybody. What is it? 2 days away?
Yeah, 2 days away.
2 days away. 2 days away from Halloween, but since it's 2 days away and not Tuesday, it's Halloween. Sort of. So I got dressed up. If you're listening to this podcast-wise, you're really missing out because I'm making myself look like a fool. It is related. I mean, we got
there's a little Seahawk there.
Yeah, it's a Seahawk luchador mask.
Nice.
Bought this down in Mexico when we took our cruise like a lot of years ago. Well before COVID hit, because we probably never would have went. We would never go. We would never go on a cruise these days. People are crazy because you can get on a cruise for like $20 these days.
Wow.
But you're gonna die.
You're gonna spend more than $20 on hospital bills.
Yeah. Strikeout beer. Let's go. Strikeout beer in the house. What's up? How you guys doing? I'm so glad you guys are here. Took a page out of Strikeout Beer's book. I was planning on doing this already, but the guys from Strikeout Beer really convinced me because Alan dressed up as Waldo, I believe.
Oh, nice.
And Rapid Dave was a spooky, scary skeleton.
Nice.
Which is my favorite Halloween song of all time. Didn't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't know that.
Spooky, scary skeletons send shivers down your spine. It's a great song.
Yeah.
There's like TikTok dances to it and everything.
Oh, nice.
I was gonna do that, but I just couldn't. I couldn't get myself to do a dance on TikTok. Just can't. Yep. The remix is fire. Yeah, the remix of Spooky Scary Skeletons. Yeah, that's legit. I wish I could play it for people right now. I would, but I'd be afraid the audio would be taken off due to copyright if I just started playing it. So I'm not going to
get shut down.
Yeah, get shut down quick. We're 4 minutes in and we haven't said a single thing relevant to this podcast. This is the award-winning podcast on and off the field with Durf and Dylan. I'm Dylan. That's Durf. Dylan's the one with the stupid mask on. Don't worry, the mask will come off eventually. Once I can't, really breathe anymore, it'll probably come off. It's a little bit tighter than I want it to be.
Yeah.
I think it's the beard like pushing up on the chin here. That's really tight.
That'll do it.
It's kind of killing me. That's like a full ½ inch of beard just getting forced into my throat. Maybe people will see the idiot in the luchador mask when they're scrolling on Facebook and be like, hold up. Let me see what this guy's got going on.
There you go.
That's the goal, at least.
I did get dressed up. I did put a costume on.
What did you dress up as, Durf?
I am an award-winning podcast.
Hey! That's the best costume literally ever. I mean, if you just walk into a costume contest wearing that, brilliant. On and off the field t-shirt, which can be purchased at onoffthefield.com on the store tab using Spooky as the promo code for 10% off. You can buy that shirt and you can walk in and be like, I'm an award-winning podcast, and you will win that costume contest. 100%, hands down, or your money back. No, that's a lie.
Not really.
That's a lie. All right. Now that everyone knew what the costumes were. Whew. Maybe I should, I guess it's the mouth open. I was going to say, maybe I should wear this to stores, but your mouth isn't covered, sir. You didn't specify which mask I had to wear. It's a mask. You didn't say what kind of mask. And then I get thrown out.
Yep.
real quick, like. Well, let's get this show really actually started. You got to make sure you floss. Flossing is recommended by 10 out of 10 podcasters. Flossing is follow, liking, observing, subscribing, and sharing to anything on and off the field related. Durf's got the skinny on that.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can follow, like, observe, and share on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter by searching On and Off the Field or OOTF Podcast. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and our brand new Twitch channel. Subscribe there for some great content from on and off the field, like right now. Make sure to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts so that we know how we're doing and what you like or dislike about the show, because it's about you, the listener. And you can find all of these links at onandoffthefield.com, along with our fundraising efforts, merchandise like this swag shirt I got on, and to learn more about Dylan, myself, and this award-winning show.
Absolutely. All of that. So much stuff. The website's literally everything. Everything you can want is on the website. I worked hard on that stuff. And Jason comes in saying, was that the Rey Mysterio mask? No. I don't even know who Rey Mysterio is.
No 619 over here.
It's a Seahawks one. And if maybe I'll put it back on at some point. I have to catch my breath. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll put it back on later. We'll see what happens. How you doing in fantasy football? I mean, it's a Thursday, so there's not really much to talk about fantasy. Were you still in first?
Yep. I beat our buddies over at 2B Blunt this past weekend. So I'm still sitting atop the league in first place. And I believe offhand, I think I'm projected to maybe barely win to this week.
Okay.
So it's a little rough on the roster this week with the bye week. So
yeah. It's that time of year.
It's that time. You finally play your backup quarterback that's been sitting on your bench for 7 weeks, and then now I'm going to
finally get this moment.
I'm going to dump him after this one this week. So.
Brandon Combs from Triple Shot Sports. What's up? What's going on, man? Welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Always appreciate. I mean, this is our podcasting group right here. We got Strikeout Beer in the house. We got Jason from Whiskey Hour Podcast. We got Brandon Combs from Triple Shot Sports. And he says his entire lineup is on IR.
Oof.
Well, if you want any idea of how my fantasy season is going, the guy I played last week had 2 players score 0 points, and I still lost.
Oh, wow.
That's my season in a nutshell. For all of my leagues. Not just like ours. I'm in 3 leagues total. They're all doing terrible. Oh, boy. In case you didn't see it on social media, I'm no longer writing for LK Sports. I'm just making sure. I think I'll be posting articles on... I'll put it on social media because I just got done really confirming it today.
Yeah.
I'll at least have 1 article a week up on Solo Cup Sports.
Nice.
I'll post that for everyone to enjoy. So, long story short, no more LK now. It's Solo Cup Sports. Crying face, crying. Or is that the laughing face? Is it the laughing crying face?
That's the laughing crying face. Yeah.
Laughing crying.
I believe
face.
It's about you losing to someone who had 2 players get 0. Because that would make sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, in one of Brandon's leagues, he had Christian McCaffrey and Saquon, and his wide receivers are OBJ and Michael Thomas. I can't help you. That's just hang up your cleats for the season, mate. Just be done with it. Rest in peace. So we couldn't do this Tuesday because Durf wasn't here, but we can actually do it successfully this week. The next segment is The Other Sports. The Dodgers won the World Series.
Yeah, buddy.
I know you're happy about that.
I saw that too, and I was like, yes, finally.
I was listening because ESPN radio is always a little bit behind.
Yeah.
Of like things that are actually happening in real time.
Okay.
I don't know why. You'd like to think ESPN radio would be like on the dot.
Yeah.
But I think they leave. That's
what I thought.
Oh. That's what Siri thought too.
That's what Siri thought. That happened to me last week. I said something, or on Tuesday, I said something and Siri started going off. I was like, what did I say to make you want? Yeah. Oh, jeez. Stupid phones. But yeah, it was funny because like they were going through the last out of the 9th inning.
Yeah.
And then Durf sends us a message in the group chat. He's like, the Dodgers win the World Series. And then they go, and that's strike 3. They're out. The Dodgers. He's like,
oh, man.
That was anticlimactic.
I didn't respect the delay. I didn't know there was a delay there.
I think they do it in case like they swear or something. Like they can like cut it off before it reaches people's ears or something happens like that.
Yeah.
It would make sense.
Because I even waited a hot minute, too, before I sent that.
Yeah.
So it was delayed quite a bit.
I think it's anywhere between 15 to 30 seconds, also depending on like how my internet's doing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Something like that. And Brandon also says to stop being mad at Justin Turner. Yeah, we'll get to that in a very couple of seconds here. But the Dodgers did win 3-1. The big question of the night was Blake Snell. He was absent. I even tweeted it out. I never tweet things. I don't tweet. But I was like, this cat is killing it. He had one hit with 9 strikeouts entering the 9th inning. And then you could see Kevin Cash just kind of like he's on the phone. You can see someone in the bullpen warming up. You can just see he's itching. And he has an itch that he just has to scratch it. And then there's a leadoff. I think it was a leadoff single that he gave up to somebody. And I don't even know if the batter reached base yet, and Kevin Cash was already walking out to the mound.
Yeah.
That was the game. That's kind of what I said in my mind. I don't know a lot about baseball, but when you make stupid moves like this, so he let up 2 hits with 9. He's faced 13 batters and struck out 9 of them. 2 hits, and he was pulled after that second hit. And then they bring in Anderson, I believe it was, who has been pitching horribly this World Series. He has been awful.
Yeah.
I realize that's normally their go-to guy, like their second guy into their rotation. He's supposed to be, like, if he's really dealing, he can go 2-3 innings. Not in the postseason, not in the World Series. He's been awful. And his first batter he has to face out is Mookie Betts. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know what you want. You can't defend it.
No, you really. I mean, it was an odd play out by that Rays. I mean, it was a close game for a long time too. Like I was getting nervous because like the Dodgers weren't doing anything, and then all of a sudden I get home. Like I left work, it was 1-0, and then I get home and it's 2-1. And I'm like, oh, okay then.
Things turned around fast when Blake Snell got pulled because, you know, Snell did put a guy on base. Anderson comes up and Mookie's like, all right, and just smacks a ball. He doubles, I think. He brings a run in. I think Seager goes up there. He hits a ball. That brings someone in. Mookie steals a base. He comes in at some point, 3-1 by the end of the inning. I think it was 3-1 by the end of that inning. Maybe it was just 2-1, and then it became 3-1 later because I think someone homered. I don't know. It was probably Bellinger.
Well, I know Mookie Betts homered.
Did he? Oh, maybe he was the one who made it 3-1.
After the game that like he homered in the Boston World Series when they recently won, and then he homered again on Tuesday night for the Dodgers, and they ended up winning the World Series then too. So yeah, it's got a thing when Mookie Betts homers in the World Series. Look out!
Yeah, as soon as he hits the home run, no matter what inning is, you might as well just go home.
Right.
Yeah, Mookie homered in the 8th, says Brandon. And Brandon also says analytics are stupid. Yes, that's the reason Snell was pulled. Snell was pulled because of analytics. The analytics say don't let your pitcher see the lineup a third time. Pull them once he's about to go a third time. He struck out Mookie Betts, I think, twice. Yeah. He was dealing. It was a brilliant, it's a quote by someone, but it was said on Dan Patrick's show. It says you should be dating analytics, not married to analytics, because there's still a human element to baseball. Yeah. You can be like, all right, it's the third time through. He's let up, a couple more hits each inning. Things are kind of looking a little shaky. Let's not let him go through a third time. And then there's the time, okay, he struck out people 9 times. He's allowed 2 hits. Maybe let him keep going. Screw analytics for just this one time.
Yeah.
Nope. The Rays and Kevin Cash were married to analytics, and it bit them. Maybe it didn't. Maybe Snell goes up there, and Mookie Betts faces him a 3rd time, and he homers, or like the same thing still plays out. Maybe. But when it comes down to it, who's the better pitcher in that moment? Blake Snell in that moment, or Anderson, who has been you can't even defend him. He's been terrible in this World Series. At that point in time, Snell was the better pitcher to face Mookie Betts.
Right. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. That was definitely one heck of a pitching game for the Raiders, or for the Rays. Wrong R
Raiders,
team.
Ravens, Rays, all the same thing.
Go ahead. Let's catch up on some of these comments here.
I know the first one there with Fink is something. It's NFL related, so we'll get to that in a moment.
Right.
But his second comment on the Snell note, as much as I hated to see him pulled, the last time he threw more than 6 innings in a start was July 21st, 2019, and the last time he pitched 7 was also 2019. Still think he should have gone another inning. It's the eye test.
Right,
And the only reason he hasn't pitched that much is because of just how the Rays pitch. It's the system he's in. He's a top pitcher in the league. He easily can go longer than that, but he just normally doesn't. That's just how they do it. They married themselves to analytics, and it worked for this season. It got them the best record. It got them to the World Series, and they thought it would win them the World Series, but instead it probably lost them the World Series. Our favorite person, Rod Peterson from the Rod Peterson Show on the Game
Plus Network.
Game Plus Network.
Yeah.
Rod Peterson Show, everybody. Great show. He was on and off the field a couple weeks back, months back.
Probably back in, I want to say, August.
It was a great show.
Feels like a long time ago.
We were just supposed to talk to Rod for maybe 10, 15 minutes, see what's going on, and it ended up being an hour and a half or something like that.
It was a good interview, though. It was a good time.
We were fine with that. That was a great time. Thanks for tuning in. Sideways crying, laughing face. That's fancy. So we had laughing, crying face. All right, now we have sideways laughing, crying face. We're getting all of it tonight.
You got some emoji game in the comments today.
Yeah, keep the emojis coming. Top 3 in the order were 0-6 with 6 strikeouts. I think is and that's who's coming up when he was pulled. Yeah, it does. It really doesn't make sense. What happened there? Don't apologize, Rod. We loved it.
Yeah,
we would have rather have gone longer. We could have just stayed on and made a 2-hour show out of it. Absolutely, never apologized for that. We had a blast. Boy, oh boy. Let's fly through some of this stuff because a lot of these are hires.
Oh,
so the first one is Hall of Famer Tony La Russa has become the new manager of the Chicago White Sox at age 76. He began his managing career with the White Sox when he was with them in 79 to 86. Oldest manager by 5 years over Dusty Baker. Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the White Sox are doing here. Like, you don't grab the oldest guy possible to make your team better sometimes. Like, why are they not looking to the future? Like, this is where I see the problem with coaching staffs and the way these teams operate, and that they don't look for the next generation of talent and coaching. They go to the oldest guy who's got the Hall of Fame already, and he was here before. Yeah, let's do it again.
He was here 40 years ago. Let's give it a try. If you want your team not to be ran by analytics, go hire a 76-year-old. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, there's no analytics there.
The White Sox will be playing the purest form of baseball in the league next season. I can guarantee you that. I don't know. I know the White Sox are mad as hell right now. The White Sox fans.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be their year. They were having a very good year,
Mm-hmm.
and then everything fell apart for them near the end of the season. I don't think they even made the playoffs. If they did, they were a first round exit.
I'm pretty sure they made the playoffs because they had made the playoffs, and I think it had been a good few years since the last time they had made it. So it's a little surprising that they had an up year, and then all of a sudden, a new manager comes in.
Yeah, a bunch of weird things happened.
Mm-hmm.
I know that because I was following the White Sox. For some reason, this just happened to me. I just somehow got attracted to the White Sox, and I was following what people were saying about them.
Mm-hmm.
And they made it. They're having a great year, and then they just blow it, and people got mad. I don't know what went wrong, but a lot of the blame got put on their former manager. So Tony La Russa in the house, everybody. We'll see what happens. I can't tell you how successful he's been. He's a Hall of Famer, so he's obviously quite successful. Yeah. All right, the Houston Rockets. They're hiring Dallas Mavericks assistant coach Steven
Silas.
Silas? Okay, I was definitely not going to say Silas. They're hiring Steven Silas to become the franchise's next head coach. He's going to replace Mike D'Antoni, who left after his contract expired at the end of the season. So, interesting. I know he's a young kid.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a kid. He's younger.
He's younger, yeah.
I don't know if that's what the Rockets need, is a young cat to come over here without a lot of experience, but basically no experience in the head coach role. Right. It kind of gives me the same exact feeling of Tyronn Lue going to the Clippers. Yep. It just feels like there's not going to be a lot of leadership there, and it's going to be a player-ran team. Mm-hmm. It's going to be the James Harden, Russell Westbrook show again.
Yep.
And it's just not going to work.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. No, opinion. And that's basically what I feel like it's because it's not. I don't know how he did it with the Mavericks as being one of the assistant coaches, but I feel like this is the fact that Mike D'Antoni didn't re-up his contract there with Houston, being that older style coach, that is definitely going to be a James Harden and Russell Westbrook run organization.
Yeah, I think Mike was kind of forced out, unsuccessful for multiple seasons. Mm-hmm. His style of offense just wasn't getting it done in the postseason. And with the players they have on that team, though, I don't know where they go from here.
Right.
I feel like they're just going to keep, what's that quote? The definition of insanity. Just doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. That's the definition of the Houston Rockets. They just throw Harden and Westbrook out there, and they tell them to score 50 points each and hope they win the game. And in the regular season, it's great. They can beat up a lot of people in the regular season, get a lot of wins, and it just never works in the postseason. Obviously, yep. They might have gotten one ring, but they ran into Steph Curry in the Warriors.
Yeah,
one or two times. So that kind of sucked. But
I think that was pre Westbrook though too. I think Westbrook was still with the Thunder, so that was Harden and Chris Paul.
And Chris Paul is a great player. Chris Paul is the kind of player that you need to play alongside Harden, not Russell Westbrook. As soon as Westbrook went to that team, I just knew that wasn't going to work. You just can't have two guys taking 30 shots each and then no one else is doing anything. TJ in the house.
Yeah.
What's going on, my man? I was watching TJ on the late night beer review with the guys from Strikeout Beer last night. He sucks at Halloween movie trivia. That's what they were doing, and he got burned. TJ Burns got burnt. Don't worry, I didn't know any of the answers to that trivia either, though. Those were hard questions, man. I think, would you know? I think the first one I tuned into, I was like, what the heck did I just start watching? The first trivia question was something about one of the people actually said in the movie about someone saying they had penis breath. Do you know a Halloween movie where they say someone has penis breath? I sure didn't.
Didn't know.
Nope. I was like, what Halloween movie says that? I must have missed that one. And who's watching Southern Alabama versus Georgia Southern tonight? Not a daggone person.
Nope.
Has to be better than Thursday Night Football. No, there's no way. No, let's not get out of hand here. Southern Alabama, Georgia Southern. Get out of here. It's a lot of Southerns though. Southern Alabama, Georgia Southern, Atlanta, and Carolina are both kind of in the South.
Yeah.
So that's fun. A lot of South tonight.
There you go.
Wisconsin's football team. I just talked about this on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because I thought they were going to continue playing.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, I probably should have said they probably won't be playing because they were down to their fourth string quarterback. But they paused all team-related activities for at least 7 days because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
The number 9 Badgers game against Nebraska has been canceled, and the game will not be rescheduled. So they've already started late. It's an 8-game schedule. Now 7 for Wisconsin.
Yep.
And I found it funny. Nebraska, if we all want to get in our time machines back to when the Big Ten first said we're not playing football, the one team that was like, screw you, I'm doing my own thing, or at least I want to do my own thing, was Nebraska. And I think one other team was with Nebraska. It was like Nebraska and someone else.
Yeah. I mean, Nebraska was the one that we talked about the most, I think.
Yeah. Because Nebraska's actually like relevant.
All right.
See you later, Brandon. Thanks for tuning in. Have fun with Triple Shot Sports. I'll tune in as much as I can after this show. But good luck. Have fun. Only game I care about this weekend is A&M with the Razorbacks. I like the Razorbacks. I'm a big fan. I'm a big Razorbacks fan. I don't know why. I just am. I just kind of... They have upsets. For some reason, they're always just kind of there. But you were saying? I think I got distracted with TJ's comment or Brandon's.
Oh, I mean, we talked about Nebraska back in a few 3-4 months ago when Big Ten announced they were postponing their season. Yeah. And this whole fact that the game's not being rescheduled is part of the Big Ten protocol or Big Ten COVID protocol, that any game that's not played will be considered a no contest. It's not a forfeit by one of the teams and the other one gets to win. It's just not a part of the record. So it's really going to get interesting to see when comes selection time for the college football playoffs or any of the bowl games, if these teams have won the rest of their games and they didn't have this game, where does that now sit against them? Does a 7-0 record team have an advantage over a 10-1 team? I don't know. To me, that doesn't make sense. Doesn't seem like I would take the 10-1 team over the 7-0 team. Like the 10-1 team played more games, they lost one game, but they won 10. Like that's still more than 7. Like to me, logic says that the 10-1 team gets in over the 7-0 team.
Yeah, and people are already questioning, even if Ohio State looks impressive and they go undefeated,
right,
that they might not even make it. So,
but they will, because
they will.
ESPN and all the college football media analysts have a thing for Ohio State, which is why I'm hoping. Which is why I'm hoping they lose this weekend against Penn State. So,
well, I don't. As long as Penn State doesn't fall into the end zone when they're not supposed to.
Yeah, or fall in the end zone, or not be able to push someone out of bounds before they tap the pylon when the ball's already on the ground.
That too. That's a bad day.
Bad
day for Penn State. But the other part of this thing for Nebraska, the main reason why I was going back to when they basically were given the bird to the Big Ten was Nebraska. They kind of just went and did their own thing. Nebraska went to another school. I don't remember the school, but they said, hey, let's play a game. We don't have a game. You don't have a game. Let's play a game. They already agreed. Like, they're like, let's play this game. Let's do it. They already agreed. And then they went to the Big Ten and they were like, hey, can we play this game? Because they have to get permission first.
Right.
The Big Ten went, no! Screw you. Play your game? No. You guys are a-holes. They're gonna let you play another game? Ha! You can sit at home and with your thumbs up your butts. That's what the Big Ten said to Nebraska. And then they got publicly humiliated, Nebraska did, by the Big Ten telling them to shove it. I thought that was funny. They had, excuse me, Daddy Big Ten, can I play football? No, go to your room. Like, they should have asked permission first before they set up their own game, and then now they got embarrassed. I thought that was funny. Just the process they took to get that done. Mm-hmm. That's funny. Nebraska's the New York Jets of the college football world. Wow, that's rude. At least Nebraska has legacy. The Jets forever have been painful. That's not true. They had Joe Namath. I think that was before the NFL existed. That was like AFL still.
No, it was NFL.
Was it?
Late 60s,
that was the first,
early 70s.
That was like the first one, wasn't it?
It was.
Joe Namath won the first Super Bowl.
No, that was Bart Starr.
Oh. I don't know.
Because the first Super Bowl was Packers-Chiefs.
Oh, that's right. That's why it's that makes sense.
Super Bowl 3, I think, was with the Jets.
It's one where he said we're going to win the Super
Colts.
Bowl.
Yeah.
And they did.
Yep.
Mr. Joe Namath in his fur coat.
Broadway Joe.
Broadway Joe. We don't have a ton of NFL news, so we're going to get through this so we can get to our predictions with plenty of time without having to worry about, running out of time or going over. Because we're already off track. We've gone off track 50 times already. This is how we do the show.
Yeah.
But we love it. We love the comments. Keep the comments coming. That's what we thrive off of, is the comments. Before I forget, actually, Mike had his matchup here. As long as Mike's still in here. Mm-hmm. Big week, a lot of games. The primetime games this week suck. Just so everyone knows. The matchup of the week is the Steelers receivers, especially Chase Claypool. I'll come back to that. Versus the Ravens secondary. The rivalry is known for defense, and the over-under is 46.5. Should be the game of the week. No, I would highly disagree. I don't know what the game of the week is, but I don't think it's this. Let me find out what the game of the week is.
What we think it is, or what Fox Sports thinks it is?
I don't care what they think. I'm trying to find my game of the week.
Yeah.
Oh, God, these suck.
Yeah.
Holy cow. This is a bad week of football. All right, so Steelers-Ravens is the game of the week. Sorry, I disagreed with you. Yeah, it's the game of the week, but I don't think it plays
I'd be looking at I'd be looking at Rams-Dolphins, though.
I think that's the only reason that has traction is because of Tua, though.
Well, yeah.
And I saw that the Rams are 2-11 against the Dolphins, I think all time, or at least as of recent, past decade maybe. I don't know how often they play. Yeah, they're 2-11 though. Yeah, my mom came in and said 49ers at Seattle. I almost said 49ers at Seattle, but the 49ers don't have a team, so it kind of doesn't make it that fun.
No.
Who's the guy playing running back this week? His name's Michael with a Y.
Hasty?
Yeah, Michael Hasty.
Yeah.
If you have heard of Michael Hasty before this week, you must work for the industry because nobody knows who Michael Hasty is. But yeah, I almost said that, but yeah. At least it's a good division matchup. It's, a 5-1 team going against 4-3. It should be a good game.
Yeah. And
TJ loves us because that's why. Yeah, the wheels just fall off, and we're not even drinking. Well, I'm drinking, but not drunk. Yeah. It's a mess. God, what was Mike's question? Damn it!
The game of the week.
So he was just making a statement. It wasn't he was making a prediction or something.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it. I love what has happened to Chase Claypool. Because he has one big week. He catches 4 touchdown passes, and he is a god amongst men. Before that, he has done nothing. And after that, he has done nothing. Can we just not do that, please? Can we not put rookie wide receivers on pedestals like they're going to the Hall of Fame after one really good game. It's what I see constantly. And then here's Mike Fink, especially Chase Claypool. Why is everyone threatened by him? He's a great wide receiver, yeah. And if they're targeting him, I'm sure he'll have a decent game. But he's not going to go off for 4 touchdowns every game. He might be a threat, but I would be more worried about making sure Juju's covered. Deontay Johnson, who's been in the system for 2 or 3 years, I'd be more worried about those guys. Eric Ebron's having a good season. Chase Claypool, you have to account for him, but
right. I mean, and that depends on how the Ravens react too. Like, the Ravens could leave him 1-on-1, and then Big Ben's going to go like throw the ball to him because he's 1-on-1, whereas everyone else is doubled up or just in bad routes with coverage. So like, he could have a multiple touchdown game because they're not covering him, and then if they start to cover him, the Steelers adjust and throw someone else for a little while. Like, it's possible that he could have a multiple touchdown game this weekend, but I'm not expecting it.
Yeah, I'm taking the under on this game for sure.
Yeah.
Because the Ravens have a good defense. They just, they picked up Yannick the other week. They still have Calais Campbell on there. Mm-hmm. It's a decent defense. And then obviously the Steelers defense, even without Devin Bush, is still the best in the league. Mm-hmm. The Bucs defense is pretty good. I guess I'll stay with the Steelers as the best defense. It's a toss up. It's not really a toss up. It's like 60-40. I'll go with the Steelers defense, but
all right.
I'll definitely take the under, but I'll give the majority of those points to the Steelers. I think I said this on Tuesday or last week. I don't remember what day I said it. The Chiefs defense completely stifled this Ravens offense. Mm-hmm. The Chiefs defense is nowhere near as good as the Steelers defense. Mm-hmm. So you're going to sit there and tell me Lamar Jackson is going to find a way to run all over this Steelers defense? I don't think so. I think we have Minkah Fitzpatrick with at least 1 interception.
Nice.
TJ Watt, 2 sacks.
Not bad.
I think this is going to be a
sounds
big
doable.
Game.
Yeah,
big game for the Steelers defense is Lamar Jackson just tries to run and gets nothing done.
Yeah,
that's my prediction.
Do it.
TJ Burns. I hope the Hawks beat the Sox. That rhymes, right? The Hawks beat the Sox, sort of.
Yeah.
Nah, maybe not. I don't know. I think it's just the way I'm saying it.
Yeah.
if you say it fast. If the Hawks beat the Sox, I hope they beat the Sox out of the 49ers. The 49ers are the second most hated NFL team for TJ Burns. Who knew? I hate them too. We haven't even started NFL news.
Back to NFL news.
Carlos Dunlap was told to stay home by the Bengals until they could trade him, and he's officially been traded to the Seahawks in exchange for a 7th-round pick and offensive lineman B.J. Finney, who the Seahawks grabbed this offseason and has not played a single snap because apparently B.J. Finney is not picking up on the Seahawks offense. He's been with the team for like 4 months, but he hasn't picked up on the offense. This guy is dumb as a bag of rocks, apparently.
Good luck, Bengals.
Yeah, have fun with him. But yeah, we got Carlos Dunlap. He's 31 years old.
Yeah.
He's having a pretty down year, but I looked up the stats for Carlos. He's played 4 games with less than 50% of the defensive snaps. So he's not getting a lot of playing time, and I think that's why he's unhappy with the Bengals.
Right, which is why he asked for a trade.
Yeah,
asking for a trade, and they said, okay, stay home then.
So, yeah, we'll see. It's what I was waiting for. Mm-hmm. And then it's not what I wanted, because the one I want is the Falcons have engaged in trade talks with other teams for Tack McKinley, former 1st-round pick, and he's awesome.
Yeah.
Tack McKinley. Huh. He's the guy I would want for the Seahawks pass rushing. But he has a groin injury for tonight's game. His performance did drop off. He's not what you'd want out of your 1st-round pick down the road, but when healthy, the ceiling for Tack McKinley, it's a high ceiling.
I mean, he had a good first couple years. His first 2 years, he showed progress and he got better. But then that third year, he slumped off a little bit in stats. But I mean, he really didn't. His deep cut in stats weren't different from his first 2 years. So like it was still the same. Just teams are changing how they approach guarding him. But this year, he's done pretty well through the first 7 weeks and. This is kind of the situation we're in the NFL where we have these teams that are firing their coaches or they're losing tons of players due to injury, and they're all right. Well, let's see if we can get some good value out of these players that we can get off the team and move on.
Yeah, the Falcons are looked at as a team that's supposed to be selling before the trade deadline. Some people have said Julio Jones, Matt Ryan are on the block. That's not true. They're not selling that hard.
No.
Arthur Blank did come out and say Matt Ryan might not be the quarterback of the future, but I'd imagine he's at least on the roster to train up his replacement. I don't think he's trade bait.
Right.
I don't think anybody wants Julio Jones' contract, and he's 30, 31, 32.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Nobody wants a 31-year-old Julio Jones with that egregious contract he has.
No.
The Dallas Cowboys released Donatari Poe and Darryl Worley. Defensive tackle Poe, cornerback Worley. On Wednesday, because they couldn't get a trade done for either one of them, and they actually designated Donatari Poe's release. They said it was because he couldn't get in shape. They basically called him a fatty and said, get off our team. Which, is fair.
Yeah.
Poe's a big guy. But I don't think, is there really any incentive when you're playing for this Cowboys team to want to get in shape?
No.
I'm sure Poe's got some guaranteed money coming his way. He's fine.
Yeah, I don't think his contract was large by any means. Like it was getting close to the veteran minimum. But he's got some money coming his way still. But
I'm sure he's one of those guys someone will pick up, practice squad or not. He'll get picked up for sure.
Yeah, I know and I know Darryl Worley's he's been pretty off. He's had a pretty down season behind like Trayvon Diggs and a couple of the other defensive backs that are back there. Like he's been playing his snap counts like behind them. So he will probably pick up on a practice squad somewhere. A team might have a plague of injuries from that position area. So, but I just think it's interesting that the Cowboys yeah, we're gonna let you guys go if we can't trade you. So pack your stuff.
Yeah, I don't know who they're replacing him with. I mean,
they're not.
I don't follow Cowboys news that often.
Right.
Like they have to have a 53-man roster, and I'm pretty sure were these guys on practice squads or active roster? I'm pretty sure they're on active roster.
Yeah,
they got to replace him with someone, and I don't know who the heck they're calling up. Oh, they actually signed Cooper Rush, quarterback, today. I saw.
Oh, another one?
So yeah, Cooper Rush is back with the team because Danucci's getting the start because Andy Dalton's still out. So they're back up to the backup to the backup to the backup to the backup is Cooper Rush, who has actually been a Cowboy before. So at least he's familiar with the system. It's a good pickup. Got a couple injuries. Christian McCaffrey is out for tonight. Gardner Minshew has some thumb fractures that he apparently just didn't tell anyone about. He's just like, I'm fine. It's apparently he's been dealing with this for a while. And he just finally was like, hey, my thumb hurts. And yeah, your thumb's fractured, bro. So he's going to be out for a while. Edelman is out after he got a knee procedure, unknown for how long he's going to be out. And actually for the Eagles, Jalen Reagor, 21st overall pick in the NFL draft this past year. Jalen is planning to play against the Cowboys on Sunday.
Nice. That's some good news for the Eagles.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah,
they could have had Justin Jefferson, but
they could have
had like a couple of 150-yard plus games. But Jalen Reagor, yeah, that's fun. The Eagles suck at drafting. They really do. The Cowboys are the new Browns, says TJ. Yeah. Yeah, the Cowboys are going downhill fast. Not looking good. All right. Oh, our off-the-field MVP real quick is actually the Green Bay Packers, as you can see by the whiteboard of glory behind me. The Green Bay Packers, they donated 5 $50,000 grants to nonprofit organizations that support social justice efforts across Wisconsin, including 2 in Madison. I think it's Madison, Wisconsin, I guess.
Yeah.
That's a town. City.
Yep.
The Packers explained Tuesday that the grants are part of their pledge to support social justice and racial equality in Wisconsin communities. I think the organizations who are being awarded include Madison's nonprofits 100 Black Men of Madison Incorporated, as well as Urban League of Greater Madison Incorporated Group, the Building Our Future organization, and the Mary Lou and Arthur F. Mahone Fund, both in Kenosha, will be awarded, as well as the Leaders Igniting Transformation in Milwaukee. Putting the money where their mouth is, the Green Bay Packers, $50,000 grant to help nonprofit organizations.
That's doing good right there.
That's how we do it, folks. I hope, I think you go to Packers, just Packers.com, go to their website. They posted an article about it. If you want to read into it more, but that's a general breakdown of what they did, and it's great. Just the organization in general, so good on them. Go Pack.
Go Pack, go.
All right, Week 8.
Oh, yeah.
We're here. Let's do it. Washington, the Cardinals, Jaguars, and Texans are on a bye week this week, but they don't have to play. They don't have to do nothing except sit home, and Gardner Minshew can suck his injured thumb. Thursday Night Football. Falcons at the Panthers. All right. So first and foremost, we're introducing a segment we like to call Durf's Doppler.
Yeah.
Now, Durf is actually a meteorologist. Nobody knew this about Durf.
I was almost a meteorologist. I took it in college. I started it in college, and then I switched majors because, calculus is hard. So
you don't like math? Why do you have to take calculus for meteorology?
Oh, you take a lot of math for meteorology when you're doing all those differential equations and thermodynamic equations to figure out air pressure and movement of masses. And so I got to Calc 2, and I was like, I can't do this after the third time. So I'm like, what can I use my classes that I've taken now and find a new major? So
he's almost a meteorologist.
Yes, I do have a background in climatology, and I'm I have a geography degree. So
okay,
I got the environmental background, so I do know what I'm talking about.
It's enough of a background to give you a segment called Durf's Doppler.
Yeah.
So before we make our picks, let's just make sure we know what the weather is in Carolina. So maybe that will influence our picks as I put my mask on for these picks. We'll end the show strong.
All right. So tonight for the Falcons at the Panthers in Charlotte, North Carolina, we're going to be looking at probably low 70s during the game. There was a chance of thunderstorms earlier yesterday for tonight. That went through this morning, which was Tropical Storm Zeta. Still low 70s, cloudy, and about a 40% chance of rain early on in the game. Should hold dry up a little bit towards the end.
Do you think that'll affect the game at all? Because this is supposed to be a passing game. You got Matt Ryan and Teddy Bridgewater, no CMC. Could be a wet day down there for the quarterback.
It could affect him a little bit. I don't think it's going to affect the passing game a ton. It's not like a downpour, or like we're not playing in a snow game where like you can't. Yeah. The ball literally gets like altered when it goes through that air. It's just gonna, it's gonna be you're probably gonna have more dropped passes tonight than you normally would on a dry night, and then they're gonna lean on the run game a little bit more. You're gonna lean on Todd Gurley and not CMC, Mike Davis,
Mike
right?
Mike Brown, I think. Is it Mike Davis or Mike Brown?
I thought it was Mike Davis. I'm probably wrong, or I don't know. I feel like it's Mike Davis, but
it doesn't matter.
Anyway.
He won't be playing much longer anyways.
No.
Christian McCaffrey will probably be back next week. so we don't have to worry about Mike Brown / Davis for much longer. But I have the Panthers winning tonight, regardless of what my blog said that was posted. For those that are in the loop on that, I do have the Panthers winning. I just think it's going to be a shootout game. Whatever the over is, take the over. It's going to be a crazy game, I think. Rain or not, I like what Teddy does tonight. I think it'll be one of those big DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson down the field games. Not a lot of plays, but a lot of touchdowns. Deep passes.
Yeah, should be good. I'm taking the Panthers as well. I think the Falcons, they're just a little bit of a hot mess after losing to the Lions. Like, the defense just can't stop anybody. Like, yes, Todd Gurley should have fell down at the goal before the goal line last weekend, but at the same time, the defense just let the Lions walk all over them for a minute. Like, you had a minute left to go, and you couldn't stop the Lions. Like, so I think the Panthers are going to have a good day against the Falcons. To
be fair, the Seahawks had under 3 minutes to not let the Cardinals score 10 points, and they couldn't do that. So, that's I can't say much about that. The Steelers at the Ravens. We talked about this a little bit already.
Yeah.
We already talked about this a little bit. I'm taking the Steelers. I think people are talking this one up like it's supposed to be some kind of shootout or some like really good defensive match. Like, no, it's going to be all Steelers.
Yeah, I think I'm taking the Steelers too. I mean, it's a well-known division matchup that I can tell you in the last 15 years I've seen a lot of Sunday night games be the Steelers and Ravens because that was the popular game to put then. It's similar to Cowboys Eagles, Cowboys Redskins, Cowboys Giants, anything NFC East or NFC least. But I'm taking the Steelers here. It's going to be definitely heavy Steelers defense. I think they're going to shut down Lamar Jackson pretty well. But to take a step over to Durf Doppler, we are looking at low 60s at the time of kickoff, partly cloudy skies, and just a slight chance of rain. Shouldn't be anything major, so should be a good weather day for football.
Yeah, that's football weather for October.
Oh yeah,
it'll actually be November by then. That's solid November football.
Yeah, it is.
Rams at the Dolphins. Yeah, I love Tua. I've been very excited for Tua time. But if you're making a pick, just making picks, you can say as much as you want. He completed 2 passes against the Jets. He looks good. Looked good in college. Maybe he's looked good in those 2 snaps. I don't know. It's a rookie in his first start going against the Rams and Aaron Donald. It just sounds like an L.
Right.
It just spells loss. Yeah. So I'm taking the Rams, even though the Rams have a 2-11 record against the Dolphins, which I just learned a little bit earlier before the show. I'm taking the Rams to move that up to 3-11. And Josh Bailey says Tua will take that L as well. Welcome to the show with your sweet style chicken packet, whatever that is again. I don't know what that is, but Tua will take the L.
Oh, well, the game is supposed to be in the low 80s on Sunday. They're talking scattered thunderstorms, most likely just rain through the entire game. So that is going to affect Tua, I think, in the passing game, being able to be assertive with his passes. I'm going to take the Rams on this. I just think you want to think the Dolphins are going to try to be on a high note here with them just winning before the bye. 2 weeks to prepare. Tua should be all ready to go, but the Rams are just gonna do their thing. They're kind of like that quiet team in the corner, just kind of marking up the wins, just keep moving on, and then bam, next thing you know, then they're in the NFC Championship for some reason. Like, oh, where'd this team come from?
Whoa.
Now you see why.
Whoa.
Hey, we gotta get that 3-peat in LA there.
Yeah, they do. I saw that meme today. LA Dodgers win, LA Lakers win, LA Rams are just sitting there like, that's a lot of pressure. The Jets at the Chiefs. All right, the next game is
There's not much to talk about, but we know who we're picking.
We're taking the Chiefs. Anyone for the Jets? I don't think so.
I mean, it'll be a good weather day for Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be,
That's beautiful.
right around 50, sunny, light breeze. Patrick Mahomes should have no problem with that Jets pressure. He should just be able to drop back and throw to whoever he wants.
Yeah, that's going to be bad. The Vikings at the Packers. Normally, you would like to just enter this game and be like, all right, cool, division matchup, classic, Packers and Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those seasons for the Vikings, and it's just one of those seasons for the Packers. They're complete opposite ends of the spectrum here.
Right.
Yeah, you're taking the Packers, and there's not really much of an argument to be made.
No, I mean, there's really not. I mean, they're at Lambeau Field. The Packers are used to this, playing in Lambeau Field. Like, it's, they're going to be used to this high of 36, this cloudy. And it's supposed to be really gusty, windy, like gusts over 40 mile an hour there on Sunday. So it's going to be bitter cold a little bit. Probably looking at wind chills below 30, probably, if I had to guess. Could be in low 30s, depending on the time. It's a 1 o'clock game, so it should be still a little on the warm side still.
At least start the day.
Yeah. But yeah, Packers are just rolling. They walked all over the Texans like they were playing against preschoolers. So I'm taking the Packers.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers threw 4 touchdown passes like it was a joke. Packers, baby. Obviously, Josh is a big Packers fan, as we have learned over the months. Cook will have a good game for the Vikings. Apparently, Dalvin Cook is active for this game, but it won't make a difference.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not going to make a difference. This was a big one right here. The Colts at the Lions. Not much to be said for Durf Stoppler.
No, because they're playing in Detroit. So either if they were playing in Indianapolis or Detroit, they're playing in a dome. There's no other influence here.
Unless the roof caves in because of a lot of snow or something, I don't think you got anything to worry about. But game-wise, this was a tough call. Yeah. And we were talking before the show, and I was actually talking to my parents on the phone. We were talking about NFL picks, and I told them there's always 1 or 2 games every week where there's a team that's favored, and a lot of people aren't going the way of the other team, and it's an upset. This is my pick for this week. It's one that's close enough where you could still make the argument for an upset. It's not like Jets over the Colts. That's never going to happen. But I'm taking the Lions over the Colts, who are the Colts are 3-point favorites. But I just like what the Lions are doing this year. DeAndre Swift has been excellent the past few weeks. Matthew Stafford is really connecting with Kenny Golladay, TJ Hawkinson. It's just all looking good. The defense is obviously in question. The Colts defense is excellent, so they could disrupt some stuff on the Lions offense, but I just like what I'm seeing, so I'm taking the Lions.
All right. I mean, I'm taking the Colts, so I mean, this is the game we differ. Which is surprising. It's the only one after last week.
It feels like a pretty straightforward week, honestly.
Yeah,
looking at some of these games.
I think the next one could be a little tricky too, but as of right now, I'm taking the Colts. We'll see how I feel on Sunday, but I'm taking the Colts right now.
I just hate Phillip Rivers with every ounce of my being. Part-time nerd Alan's in the house from Strikeout Beer. Part-time nerd Alan, who dressed up as Waldo last night.
Nice.
What's going on, my man? Welcome to the show. He's in here, looking sharp, he says. Got my Seahawks luchador mask on, authentic from Mexico. If you look at the stitching real close, I won't show it because I won't be able to figure out how to do it. The stitching on this, the eyes just it's not very good. That's how you know it's authentic. Like it's handmade because it looks terrible. That's why I bought it, though. Let's get the show started because Alan's here now. Yes, the show just began, folks. The first hour, throw it away. The show starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Alan. The Raiders at the Browns. Yeah, you said this was another one. This could be an interesting one, especially with that weather. Some of that weather could really mess this day up.
It's not going to be good at all. Like it's going to look good when they start, but high 51 falling near 40 during the game, like it's going to get cold on that field, and it's going to be some really nasty rain and gusty winds of 40 plus miles an hour. So it's going to be an ugly game in Cleveland.
Yeah, and that weather really makes you question some things. Doesn't matter what happened before. That's right. Allen's taking the Raiders here.
Really? All right.
And, knowing the weather,
man,
this might come down to the weather for me. I don't want to overthink it. But if it's that kind of weather and the Browns don't have Nick Chubb, this is kind of looking like a Baker Mayfield-led offense, especially after 5 touchdowns last week.
Right.
Throwing the ball might be a little tough. You got Kareem Hunt to run the ball, but the Raiders have Josh Jacobs. If it turns into a ground and pound kind of day because of the wind, they could favor the Raiders. But if you don't overthink it, if you don't want to sit here and be like the 40, the wind is going to be blowing. If the quarterbacks can figure it out, and if Baker Mayfield can still throw the ball and sling it like he did last week, I'm taking the Browns as of right now.
All right. I mean, I'm taking the Browns right now too. I know it was a toss-up for me a little bit picking the Raiders or not. Baker doesn't need OBJ, which clearly he proved that last week when OBJ went out earlier in the game. I don't think the passing game is going to be there in order for. I don't think the Browns are going to have a strong run game against the Raiders. They might have an okay running game. I don't think it's going to be great.
Are you picking the Raiders? Sounds like you're picking the Raiders.
I'm picking the Browns, though. I think it's going to be just enough. I don't think it's going to be fabulous for a run game. Maybe it'll be. Because you're taking the Raiders right now because you're overthinking it.
I just changed my pick because I'm overthinking it. Because I just reminded myself, the Raiders played the Bucks last week. That's like that's a Super Bowl team in the Bucks right now.
And they played them in Las Vegas though too.
True, but it's the Bucks.
It's very true. The Bucks defense is a lot better than the Browns defense, and the Browns don't play well in bad weather. So
I don't. It's a tough.
I'm
game.
still gonna take the Browns. They were on fire last week against the Bengals, although it was the Bengals. I didn't see a lot of highlights from the Raiders Bucks game last week. I know the Buccaneers had their way with the Raiders. I'm taking the Browns right now. We'll see how I feel on Sunday.
And part-time nerd here is calling you out. Everything you just said makes it sound like you're taking the Raiders, but you're still taking the Browns. It's true. That's why I got confused. I was like, "Are you switching your pick?" Like, nah, he's just... All right, let's go on to the next one here. The Titans at the Bengals. Joe Burrow is he's a really good quarterback. Dude.
Yeah.
He's doing very well for his rookie season. They should have Joe Mixon back this week.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not going to be enough.
No,
the team as a whole is just not good enough to get it done against the Titans. I'm taking the Titans.
Yeah, I'm taking the Titans too. I mean, they nearly almost beat the Steelers last week. I mean, the Steelers were pretty dominant throughout the most of the game. They let up a little bit when the Titans are coming back to get close to tying it up. But I still think the Titans are going to win this game. Bengals are looking better than they did week 1. Joe Burrow's, getting more comfortable under center in the NFL. It's they're in Cincinnati, so it's going to be not as bad as Cleveland's weather. So I mean, high 49. It's not terrible temperature. Partly cloudy. That doesn't make a difference, but it will be a little bit breezy Sunday for them. So I still think the Titans are gonna. They have Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry got shut down. Looked mediocre against the Steelers because that defense is so good. He's going to run angry this week.
Yeah, it's a vengeance game for the Titans. They're mad.
Yeah.
And they're not going to let no Bengals get in their way. The Patriots at the Bills. This is it.
Oh, yeah.
This is it. This is the moment.
Yep.
This is what we've all been waiting for. All the Bills fans have been waiting for. Can they finally do it? Granted, it's in Buffalo. It's not at Gillette.
Yeah.
But still, can the Bills, regardless if Cam Newton still sucks, whether this team is in shambles or not, Julian Edelman's not playing, can they still get past Bill Belichick and the Patriots? I think they do. The Patriots look absolutely horrible. Part-time Nerd agrees with both of our picks in the last 2 games.
Nice.
Do you also agree that the Bills can finally get over this hump?
I believe the Bills are going to bury the Patriots this weekend and finally get over that hump and take this division like they should. So,
like Undertaker, just take care of business.
Yeah,
that's fair. They should be able to easily.
It's going to be. I think it's going to be a little bit of a ground and pound game for the Bills. I still know they're going to have Josh Allen throw the ball a lot, but the weather is going to look very similar to the Cleveland game because they're along Lake Erie and about 4 hours apart. So that'll do it for you.
Yeah.
So like high in the 50s, then drop during the game, rain, gusty winds. The Bills had a little bit of a run game going last week against the Jets. So you're starting to see a little bit of promise there with the run game with Singletary and Moss. Maybe Josh has to do a couple of read options here. He's gonna have to do something because I don't think he's gonna have that passing game that he wants or the Bills want. But I still think the Bills are gonna take over this game and they're gonna hopefully control it and beat the Patriots.
Yeah, one way or another, they're gonna get the job done. Pat suck, Cam sucks, no Edelman, Patriots lose.
Yep.
The Chargers at the Broncos. Broncos are a terrible team. Chargers should pretty easily be able to take care of business here as well, I would like to think.
Yep. I mean, it's a lot better of conditions in Denver this weekend as compared to when they played the Chiefs.
Look at that change.
There's no snow on the same schedule. We're looking at a high 52, mostly sunny. So that's perfect weather in Denver for November. So that's actually beautiful. A mile-high stadium, like that's going to be – I'm taking the Chargers. The Chargers are Justin Herbert finally got that win, and they're going to be rolling. Like this is the team watch out for in making that wild card spot.
Yeah, I mean, what are they? 3-5, 2-5, 3-5, 3-4, whatever
Something
it is.
around, yeah,
it's not too late to make a run for that team.
No, they still have time.
Yeah, everyone thinks that there's still a lot of season left. This is the halfway point. We're about to enter the halfway point. So, the 49ers at the Seahawks. We kind of hit on this a little bit already. The 49ers are starting a guy named Michael Hasty at running back. I don't know what you want me to. You can't defend the 49ers right now. It sucks for them. Deebo Samuel's not playing. I think their leading receiver is probably going to end up being Ayuk, the rookie, I think, if he's even healthy. It's not good. They have George Kittle. Yeah. They have George Kittle. Sorry, I forgot about Kittle. God bless George Kittle. If they're going to win this game, he's going to need 300 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But, I'm taking the Seahawks. Easy game.
Yeah. I was tempted to go against the Seahawks like I did last week with picking the Cardinals, but no, the Seahawks are in Seattle. It's perfect Seattle weather for them with 58. Like to me, that seems a little warm for Seattle because they're that
it's a little warm
coastal climate.
November,
but I mean it's going to be 1:00 for them and then kick off at 4 here, so it's it's still going to be sunny there. It should be good weather for the game. Like I know usually Seattle you're expecting rain some point in the game. As far as I've seen, I haven't seen any expectation for rain. But the Seahawks are going to come back with a little bit of vengeance here. I feel like DK didn't run down due to Baker for nothing.
Well, he did, but
well, yeah, but this now he's going to save the energy for this week now against the Niners.
Yeah, I would like to think this is a good revenge game. But just so you know now, the Arizona Cardinals will sweep the Seahawks this season because when they come to Seattle, that'll be an absolute throttling. Just so you know. Yeah. The Saints at the Bears. I'm done with the Bears.
Yep.
They disappointed me last week. I changed my pick at the last minute, and they let me down. So I'm taking the Saints. I don't care what the weather is. I don't care if Nick Foles is woke up feeling dangerous. I don't care. I'm taking the Saints. The Bears can lose the rest of the season for all I care. I hate them. And yeah, just so you know, Alan, this is our new segment. We talked about his, almost getting a meteorology degree and being a meteorologist. This is Durf Stoppler. We're gonna be working on it to really make it like its own segment. But for at least this week and maybe the future, until we nail down everything, like for now it's just like every game we're just gonna let's see what the weather's going on. Maybe it affects the pick. It already affected one pick for me. I changed my pick because of the weather. So yeah, we got Durf Stoppler, and actually Matt came up with the name just to give credit where credit is due. Our buddy Matt
did come up with it.
Yeah, nice job on the Durf Doppler add-on. Yeah, we're going to work on making literally its own segment here at some point. Like, really nail it down. Be like, all right, let's do Durf Doppler. And we just got to work on, how we're going to incorporate that and figure it out.
Yeah.
Need a shirt? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alan, please, if you know someone that does graphic design that'll help us out, let me know. Because you guys have shirts. Maybe you guys do graphic design. I need help. Because I want to make all these shirts. I love it. I just want to I put it on a sticker, Durf Doppler sticker. Let's do it. But I can't do it. I can't. I just can't.
Yeah.
Because I suck at graphic design. So please help me. What were we doing?
Saints and Bears.
Yeah, I'm taking the Saints all day. Don't care.
Yeah, I'm taking the Saints because the Bears are the worst 5-2 team in the NFL. It seems like history though too, because they're just. They are what they are now, and you're seeing what they really are, and they're kind of bad. Yeah. But they are playing in Chicago. Might be a little bit of a factor for Drew Brees. I don't think it's going to be a ton. Being in the mid-30s, partly cloudy with windy, windy city, Chicago. It's expected to have at least a little bit of a breeze there. It's going to be a little on the cool side for Drew Brees. He's not used to that playing in a dome in New Orleans, but I think he'll survive. I'm taking the Saints.
Just hand the ball off to Kamara. Job done. You're
Kamara.
Good.
Oh,
good to go.
Kamara's tired. Latavius Murray. Here you go.
Yeah, there you go. Drew Brees not having a good day. Here, just hand it off to give it to Taysom Hill. Even who gives a crap? As long as Drew doesn't have to do it.
Yeah.
Rapid Dave does all the logos. All right, we're gonna talk to him. Graphic designer. Oh, we got an email address. I won't throw that up for everyone to see. Spam that person. All right. I'll give me all the advice. Send me a DM. Everyone send me a DM of who can help me with graphic design. Cowboys at the Eagles, Sunday Night Football. And the other year, this might be really epic, but it's 2020 and this game sucks. We're gonna see DiNucci at quarterback for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
We're gonna see the Eagles, who have a tie on their record. That's what we're getting for Sunday Night Football, folks.
Jalen Reagor's coming back.
Jalen Reagor's coming back. All
there
right.
We go.
We got a show, folks.
That seals the deal. The Eagles are going to win.
The Eagles are going to win. That's it. Are you serious right now? Saints for the win. Mike Reeves comes in. White Mysterio. Who's the guy who said it earlier? Was that
Rey Mysterio, WWE wrestler?
Why is everyone saying Mysterio?
It's very similar to that face mask he wears.
I don't know who this person
wrestles. I don't think he wrestles anymore. He was big in the late 90s, 2000s. The aughts.
I guess I'm Mysterio now because that's what I've been called twice during this show. So this is my Seahawks luchador mask. My Seahawks luchador mask. Handmade in Mexico. Cowboys suck. Yes, they do. So the Eagles are going to win this. Jalen Reagor's back. It's game over. Jalen Reagor. What's the running back? Scott? Oh my God. Boston Scott all day. He's a better running back than Miles Sanders.
Yep.
It's going to be a good day for the Eagles, I think. I think Eagles fans are going to feel real good after Sunday night.
Yeah, it could be a little bit of ground and pound. I think it's going to be it's well balanced. I think it's going to be a well balanced offense. I think for the most part for the Eagles. I mean, it's going to be cold there. Rain early on, clearing later for the end of the game. So weather shouldn't be as much of a factor towards the end of the game. I do think it makes a little bit of an effect on Zeke Elliott. He's been having a little bit of ball control trouble. So I think the Eagles might get a couple turnovers here on him.
Yeah, Zeke can't handle the pressure of being the guy for this team on offense.
Not anymore.
And he just can't handle the pressure. As soon as Dak went down, his confidence just plummeted along.
Well, you know
Dak.
why he can't handle being the team's weapon? Because he got paid.
That's right. That's right. Never pay your running back a second contract, folks. That should be on a T-shirt. He actually still wrestles, apparently, whoever this White Mysterio guy is.
Rey Mysterio, yeah.
Rey Mysterio. It says White Mysterio. Am I? But what's the humidity going to be like? All right, you have to look up the humidity for Philly.
Oh, for Philly?
Yeah.
Well, it should be near 100 because of the rain.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's going to be raining. So a lot. It's gonna be a lot. There's your answer.
It'll
and
probably be near 100 and drop to like 50, probably. But moving on.
I think it's gonna be 72% humidity. There you go.
All right, there you go.
That's my number. Over under 72%.
At the end of the
start
game,
betting lines on the weather. Buccaneers at the Giants. Monday Night Football. This is just one of those that you just move on from. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why was this even made a Monday Night Football game? Who
Saquon
sat down
Barkley?
and was like, no, Saquon Barkley. Tom Brady.
At the time when the schedule was made, it looked appealing. But it's also Tom Brady, so they're going to give him an easy primetime game.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. I'll give you that. And sorry, I stepped on Durf's toes with the humidity question. He still answered. It was going to rain, 100%. Yeah. He gave his answer. I just threw my 2 cents in there. I said 72%. That's coming from, a guy with a computer information systems background.
There you go. But for the last game of the weekend, it will be upper 30s, clear sky with a light breeze. So it's going to be a little on the cool side for Tom Brady. But if that defense can stay hot, they'll be fine.
There is no Chris Godwin, and there's also no Antonio Brown. Still, not yet. So missing a couple pieces.
Scotty Miller, there you go.
Scotty Miller, Mike Evans, Gronk, whoever you want. That offense is loaded.
Gronk and his maple syrup.
That was the greatest quote ever. Hold on, folks. Hey, my buddy Day Christina from the Army Days is watching right now. What's up, bud?
Nice.
Welcome to the show. I got my Seahawks luchador mask on, my friend. Real quick, here we go. Here's Gronk's quote of the day. It's like a saying my mom used to say. It must be maple syrup because butter don't drizzle like that. You don't got much time to react, and syrup drizzles. You've gotta make the play. And a stick of butter, it's a block. You've got to put it in the microwave, melt it, and that just takes too long. You've got to make the play right away, baby, and that's why I'm like maple syrup. What in the God? What are you saying? He even left a comment. What's up, bud? I hope life is treating you well. I miss you, man. I hope you're doing great. What the hell did Gronk say? First off, nobody, when you're eating, I'm assuming he's talking about pancakes or like a breakfast food, because you don't talk about syrup and butter, like unless you're talking about food. Or is he just talking in general? Because generally when you have butter, unless you're like baking, you never melt butter. You just put it on like hot food and it melts for you. You don't put butter in What are you talking about? What is this in context to? You're just talking about in general? What are you talking about? I feel like he says this is something my mom used to say, but in all honesty, his mom said that when she was like drunk on a Friday night. Like Gronk, like because Gronk has brothers. Like the kids were just running and wrestling all over the house all day, and then it was like 11 o'clock at night, and she was drunk off of wine. And Gronk came out of his bedroom and was like, "Mom, tell me some piece of wisdom." And the mom was like, "Well, you know what syrup is, right?" And that's where this quote came from. It's just a mess. One man's take.
Yeah, that's quite the analogy from him today, but
you melt it and put it on popcorn. Apparently,
yes. When you make homemade popcorn, or if you really want your butter, and you're making the microwave popcorn, but
because you melt it and put it on top of rolls. Okay.
Oh,
he's tearing me apart here. But it's in context with syrup. Yes, syrup too.
Normally, that's a breakfast food item. It's
kind
of situation. Yeah,
it was just a weird quote.
Butter don't drizzle like that.
Butter don't drizzle like no syrup. Gotta make the play, says Gronk. And that's our show.
Oh.
That's all we got for you. It was a complete disaster, as usual. We got the mask on. Durf is dressed as an award-winning podcast with his beautiful on and off the field t-shirt, which you can buy it on offthefield.com at the store tab using promo code SPOOKY for 10% off your purchase. Whew. Get that all out there. And that's our show, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you floss, follow, like, observe, subscribe, share, everything on Off the Field related. And hopefully you will be back on our next show because Durf and Dylan will be back next Tuesday because
Mama didn't raise no wussies.